We are still broadcasting live from the ITWeb Security Summit. Now we are joined by Tshego Gaetsewe, who is the Senior Specialist for GRC at SAGE. Welcome to ITWeb TV, Tshego. Tshego, just to understand from you about, understand you are responsible for GRC at SAGE. Can you just tell us about your day-to-day activities at SAGE and your main responsibilities there?
I'm a part of the global security compliance team. So in essence, what we do is basically just make sure that our customers are serviced from a security compliance perspective. We also do certification assurance. So with the likes of ISO 27001, SOC, PCI, TSS, for the American environment. We also have FedRAMP. Now there's a little change to go. So those are just a part of our compliance frameworks that we deal with in terms of servicing our customers.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Tshego. Now that we are at the ITWeb Security Summit, I understand GRC comes hand in hand with cybersecurity. If you can just please explain to us the importance of GRC in the world of cybersecurity.
Okay, as with everything else, I mean, compliance and governance, that's what we kind of have got to have in every company. You need to have sort of like a checklist and a way of the order for the company to actually comply to regulatory obligations, your law, something like GDPR and POPI, and locally information regulators. So if you have something like that, a free organization, just to make sure that there is some sort of element of compliance.
Awesome. You have mentioned COPIA, the Protection of Personal Information Act. From your just understanding of the industry, South African organizations are really embracing this, if we could say, new piece of legislation.
Personally, I think this is a staggered approach. So it's been in the market and has been in everyone's ears for quite some time. However, it's a staggered approach and says that organizations aren't really aware of where they need to be. And for those companies that are there yet, in terms of adhering and keeping up with the said section of the Act, that's what IPs that companies actually just kind of are getting a little bit of a difficult there.
Sure, Tshego. Interesting that you mentioned the GDPR. So now looking at our own POPIA, let's say a South African company has got some maybe customers in the European Union. Do they have to comply to both the GDPR as well as COPIA?
I think that's a choice that the company needs to make. If there is a European kind of contract for the company, then they have the right to kind of adhere to GDPR. But if they're South Africa based, then we kind of look at POPI in its entirety. So if there's not really much difference between the two. It's this terminology. GDPR would look at data assets, and whereas POPIA would actually just mean something else, but it's actually the same thing.
Going back to the GRC jargon, Tshego, you mentioned something like ISO something. I also understand there are frameworks like COBIT and so forth. If you can just tell us maybe why do organizations need such frameworks and why are they important?
Okay, so the overarching of it all, they're literally just the same. There are frameworks looking at information security. However, their audience is slightly different. So if you look at ISO 27001, that's a widely international framework of information security management, right? So every organization would look at it in terms of kind of doing that auditory checklist, right? So this is widely used in the US, and it's very specific controls. So if I want to touch it into something like CIS controls, that's a very, very specific set of controls. I think about 20 that are very tactical and operational. So it's just kind of more in detail. So you could look at a framework that says, oh, okay, this is what you need in order to adhere to certain legal regulations, whatever, or for audits and stuff, or you kind of just want to tighten up your security environment in your company. Yeah.
There's also some talk that organizations are just having these frameworks is like a tick box exercise, just to maybe show that they have got these frameworks in place. Are you also witnessing that challenge of just organizations having this as a tick box exercise?
I am seeing it, and I think this is at a business strategic level, where we don't want to see those as checklists. We want to see them as incorporation into the strategic alignment for every organization. So have it as a nice to have, align it to what the business wants to see from the 1 to 3 to 5 year kind of time period, and not because you are rather just to satisfy an audit or a compliance framework.
Earlier you mentioned, Tshego, that your target market is the small and medium enterprise organizations. Do they have like maybe the financial backing to roll out these frameworks?
Unfortunately, no. So SPVs are very tenant, smaller, medium enterprises, right? So it may be a financial restriction in order for them to get ISO certified because it's very costly. So what we kind of advise them to do is look at their structure and look at what's in the environment, look at their security landscape, and kind of implement those controls that are fit for their business strategy, their business operations, and then take it from there. So I always say, do not boil the ocean. Just try and kind of manage what you can bantu,
Okay.
So small chunks, if you can just put it like that, ultimately they will be able to kind of get ISO certified once probably the maturity of that enterprise is at that level.
Awesome. Thank you, Tshego. Today also, since we are at the Security Summit, ITWeb Security Summit is celebrating its 20th anniversary. There's been a lot of talk about some of the biggest changes that we have witnessed in the world of cybersecurity. For you as a GRC specialist, can you also maybe let us know about the kind of changes that we have also seen in the world of GRC or cybersecurity over the past 20 years?
So I guess in my experience is we used to be seen as those black hooded kind of people, like in dark rooms, and we were so isolated from the rest of the organization and what is the world. So being a part of this conference and in the past 5 years, I've seen as being evident and present in conversations. Cybersecurity being discussed at an executive level, it being a topic amongst C-function execs where we kind of bring it to the board level situations where we can actually discuss it and see the importance of having cybersecurity as something to manage across the board, just not for Sage, but every other organization as well.
Interesting. And our CEO is now taking cybersecurity seriously?
Yes, definitely we should. Otherwise, we're spending more years than we ever could.
Interesting. Yeah, because hardly a week passes by Tshego without hearing some news about a major organization being compromised by cybercrime of some sort. Even smaller enterprises are also bearing the brunt. Also to find out, Tshego, are you going to be presenting here at the ITWeb Security Summit?
So this is my first net speaking.
Yeah. Okay.
Very, very excited. A little bit nervous. Okay. So my topic is around the pros and cons of cybersecurity compliance frameworks. So if you're looking for one, what do you need? Does it suit you what you're trying to drive from a cybersecurity perspective? So just maybe touching down on some topics. Are they mutually exclusive, or can one complement the other, or can they work together? So I think later, if you're available, just come in my.
When what time are you?
So they gave me the very late shift.
Is not.
Yes, so I'll be presenting in track 2 at 5 o'clock this afternoon.
Yeah. I'm sure they want to save the best for the last. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yes, Tshego. And just to find out from you, I know you have attended some sessions earlier. What were the biggest takeaways from the sessions that you have attended so far?
I think my biggest takeaway and where we're trying to drive is the understanding of AI. So I did a little bit of some training. I actually want to see in the industry and obviously my colleagues, not just from Sage, from other sections as well, like let me just say ex-colleagues, how they're looking at this whole specific subject and how does it affect their kind of structure from a cybersecurity perspective. So I think that's the wife that I'm really looking at. And I think once the other sessions come, should be able to kind of learn a lot.
Awesome. Just another question just came on the top of my mind, Tshego. IT and cybersecurity is a male-dominated industry. Just to find out from you, like, how did you decide to venture into this industry that is so male-dominated? And what are the things that you are finding in this industry?
How did I get here? I think I had a great, still have, a while ago, I think about almost a decade ago, when I got into the space, I had a fabulous, like a awesome mentor, Bernard Chadenga.
Okay.
And he's kind of just shown me that, you know what, even if this industry is male dominant, you actually have a voice.
Yes.
So I've actually kind of built from there. And I like to think that I know my way around the industry. So I am firm and stern in some instances where the males, my counterparts, would say, no, Simon, this is not it. Like, say, tell me why. Why isn't it like this? And why can't you do it this way? So it is what was it. It's very, very, I think, rare to see a female. And I think the side of the world to see it, like, oh, this industry, yes. But I think the more we kind of engage in those conversations and kind of interest other female parties to kind of join the in. You should read it.
Thank you so much, Tshego. I'll be there at 5 o'clock.